The cat and the dog. That's my dog Candy. She's a mix of a Chihuahua and a rat terrier. She's really kind. And the cat went to her business to have some food. They often do eat together. Sometimes they play with each other. Sometimes they try to fight, but not really in a bad way. Mostly like in a kind of funky way. I guess having fun together. Anyways, pets like pets. Guys, this video is about, I guess, painting a boat. How else would you name it? I wanted to show you something about basically painting the boat. That what I wanted to do. As you know, here it is right now, how my boat is. This is Crestliner fish hook 1650, and as you know, when painting a boat, people usually lift it up on a jack, I mean bunch of jacks, and that's what I really didn't like. What I wanted to do is lift it up somehow in some kind of way to be the least possible abstracted, so I don't have to like paint and then move jacks again, wait for the paint to cure and again move jacks, complete missed spots, this and that. I wanted to lift it up in a way that I would be able to just go in one go to paint it up. That's what I wanted. And as you can see, look, underneath, no jacks, nothing like that. The boat is just hanging on 4 straps. So I did build me these kind of pillars or supports. I've used the 2x4s and 6x2s boards for this. The 6x2, this stuff. This obviously is a 2x4. So this is how it's done. This kind of stuff, it's long, probably about 1.25 yards, something like this. I'm just telling you dimensions in a way it's comfortable for me. So it appeared to be really stable, no problems whatsoever. I though connected it for stability. Could have connected also, front to back, back to front, but the pillars seem so stable that it just doesn't make sense really. Too good of pillars. And this is how I attached it on the front. You see, just to catch it for the aluminum, kind of. So I just opted to use boards like this. You see, I used one 6x2 board, and underneath, for additional strength support, I added one 2x4. Screw them together and made 2 pieces of boards, like really strong. So I put it underneath like this. Like over here, I cut it in angle. Over here and there, I cut it in angle. As you see, the bow, it comes this way, so I cut the wood actually in angle too. So it's like as much as possible close to the wall over here. So I put it in, and 2 straps like this hold it dead. This is a big straps. They're massive big straps. This is not some kind of joke. Look, the ratchet. Basically, they're huge. See? You can see how big the stuff is. This is big commercial grade straps, it's no kidding. I actually use this in my delivery truck. They're very big and very serious straps, it's no kidding. It's about 2 inches wide, the strap. It's not less than 2 inches wide. They're very serious straps, so I'm gonna obviously remove all this carpet. I don't want it even to look at it. All these seats they go is gonna be all gone to the trash. I have 4 seats already new. The carpet I plan to replace it with the vinyl. Replace it with vinyl. And so far this is it. There's quite some work. The paint is on its way while this kind of stuff is being gotten ready, you know. On the back though, I think that, see, I don't really have comfortable space over here to paint. I'm gonna get rid of this, you know, remainder of paint at the final scratch off of the boat to remove the oxide before priming. And I think I probably should, you know, get longer, a bit longer, maybe 1 inch longer bolts to attach this kind of stuff, to put the jack temporarily. I mean, to put the boat temporarily on the jack, it's not a problem at the rear over here at all. And I probably I will take care of this with longer bolts, so that I have more space for access and painting. As for now, the work I was doing, that's fine. I just used these bolts. They were actually in place over here. I didn't even have to look. But to do the job more comfortably, I'm gonna go get a couple of longer bolts to give me more clearance over here. That's all. These, they are the motor bolts. They were right on a boat, so I use them for now. But I'll take care of this, just like I said. So I decided to paint the boat in Alex seal, or Alex seal, whatever they pronounce it, for a reason that's extremely durable and repairable paint, very close to all grip, just slightly not as hard as all grip, but almost that. And all grip's not really repairable, but Alex seal is repairable. Many people have trouble with painting Alex seal. I've painted stuff, but not with Alex seal. What I see, Alex seal is being applied pretty liberally, and some people think like other coatings to have not so liberal gun settings, and this probably what interferes with them. But if you watch 2 videos and see the stream, how it's applied, and that it especially goes well and better covered with the conventional gun, and the liberal settings you see when it's applied, you will understand that with the right settings and the equipment, it should be just fine. And you can always test, you know, before painting. Really, you can always test until you dial in your gun. So that's something, you know. Do some reading, definitely learn how to do practice. You'll find it. I've painted stuff before, so I'm not that overly concerned, really. So this setup worked for me really well so far. The boat is hanging on 4 straps. The straps are way beyond required capacity to hold this boat. It's around 1000 lb. This boat, that's what it is, around 1000 lb. And this kind of pillars, supports, hold me really well. I have no trouble whatsoever. This 6x2, this one for the boat, it appeared to be a little bit not really strong, but I added this support in the middle. I added this support, and now it's actually really no problem. This support, the boat is really heavy on the back, plus the gas tank is full. It's 30 plus something gallons of gas in there, so it's quite heavy on a back. Over here, as you can see, to prevent possible splitting, falling down, not to split, these are just in case. The wood dried up real quick, about 2-3 days. It dried up, like from the store, it's pretty green. And these are supports just in case. Over here too, you can see, just in case, to prevent. The whole thing is very stable. I've been climbing in a boat and getting down, again climbing and again getting down, again climbing, again getting down. This thing, it sits like a champ, no problem whatsoever. So you can see what I did. And this is in order to be able to paint it once in one go. Well, I'll apply 2 coats at least with this kind of paint, or we'll see how many coats will really be required in order for me to like it. But one slighter coat and another full coat is absolutely definitely guaranteed to do. Not sure if I will find a need for more coats than 2. We'll see. It's gonna show anyways. That's the thing. And this is how I did it in order to get rid of the nuisance, with the jacks. Setting jacks here, painting, moving jacks, again painting those spots where previously jacks were. I really didn't want that kind of hassle. So this is how I lifted it, on the back with the straps. Like I said, I'll use longer bolts. It's not a big deal at all because it's held in front with 2 straps. I have a transmission jack pretty big. It's not a problem to lift this boat comfortably on the back and just replace, swap those bolts for longer ones. That would allow me more clearance between the boat and the straps, and I'll be just good to go. Get it done in one go and don't hassle. The wood, yeah, the wood cost me money, I know. The wood cost me money, and most likely I'll just dispose it off after that. But I wasn't really so much after money as after convenience. The jacks, you can have them and store them and have them again in years, this and that. If you're living on a huge piece of land where you have a bunch of storages of your own, you can store, of course, these supports, pillars. It's not a problem, you can store them. But overall, I, in my case, probably will just get rid of this wood, because I decided to paint it with very quality paint. Alex seal can hold a very long time for you, because I'm not even going to go much or not at all to the salt water. Maybe we'll be going to the salt water, we'll see, but I don't think too many times. And the most I'll go on the water maybe 5 to 10 times a year. That's not much of a use at all. With this kind of use, where the boat is actually for the most of the year is stored, that's not much use of at all. People report, if they use extremely good quality paint, people report their boats lasting, the paint job lasting for 15 up to 20 years. And Alex seal, it's known to be no kidding. With the use like me, 5 to 10 times a year, trying to keep it all, in good shape, and repair any scratches timely. Definitely I can hope to get at least 15 years out of this paint job, and being that it's Alex seal, possibly more. So spending $100 like I spent on this wood once in 15 or more years, does it make really a difference? No, that's nothing. For such a convenience to be able to paint a boat in one go, that's just nothing. But I didn't buy my wood from Home Depot or Lowe's. I live in Sacramento, California, and I got this wood from Frank Shaw Lumber. He sells discounted, lumber. He has a bunch of wood over there and plywood and whatnot, but he sells it discount, at a huge discount basically. Really, it's by far cheaper. I would have ended up with tax, with everything at Home Depot, I would have ended up very close to $200 for this wood, very close. At Frank Shaw, it came up to $95, and I don't know, but the man, he didn't even charge me the tax. I calculated, it came up to $95, and I expected him to charge me tax, and he didn't. All it was for me, I just paid $95 for this wood. Spending $95 once in 15 years for such a convenience to be able to blast this boat in one go, I don't see it as much money at all. Especially buying such an expensive system as Alex Seal. $95 is not gonna make you any poorer, really, but it definitely can help you to avoid a lot of aggravation with those jacks. You just blast it in one go and they're good to go. That's it. So, given that I got the wood cheap, given the convenience I get out of this, I definitely like it. I was watching videos on YouTube, guys, doing the boat painting with the jacks underneath, and I came to a conclusion, man, that's a pain. I really don't want to go that way. And then I thought, my boat is by far lighter. It's not like those ocean boats that are very heavy, really heavy. They can be 5 and 10,000 lb and whatnot. Heavy, big. What can you do? It's indeed the only way to go is either huge sharp cranes, stuff like that they use, or jacks. Just have to stick to jacks, too big. But in my case, this boat is around, I'm not really sure how heavy it is, but it's somewhere in the range of around 1,000 lb. Let's say plus minus 200 lb, somewhere around there. It could be 1,000. I don't think it's 800. I highly doubt that. I didn't really look, but I know that this boat should be around 1,000 lb. It just has to be that. So let's say it's well, around 1,000 lb. That's what it is. So I thought to myself, this is not like a humongous boat. You definitely can avoid using jacks with it. So why not, man? Why not avoid the jacks and just have it blasted in one go? Look, all of the bottom is free. Look at it, it's free. As on this side, so on the other side, it's free. Just blast it. Just go paint, blast this thing. That's it. It's all open. That's what I really was aiming for. And there you go. I got it. So that's the thing. Here is, by the way, the transmission jack that I have. It's a really big jack. This kind of transmission jack can handle transmissions even from semi trucks. Even. As for like stuff like box truck, 26 footer stuff like that, no problem at all. The actual shop jacks are slightly bigger than this, but by very little. I don't know, maybe about 2 inch, something like this. Slightly bigger. But for the specifications that I read on this jack, this thing can handle actually semi-truck transmissions. For the weight that it's rated at, appears that way. So That's the thing. This is a big one. I need it in a past on my truck. But it's handy. It can lift me the boat comfortably, and because it's on two straps in front, you just lift the center of the boat. The two straps in front, they're separated enough to keep it stable. Just lift a bit and very comfortably replace the bolts for the straps on the back. Put longer bolts, and you'll be good to go. Nicer access to scrape off that remainder of the paint right by the straps. And painted, the fan flow should be just getting in there and getting it done. It's the engine motor gonna hang in there anyway, so that's the thing. So this is how I did it, and the construction is stable. Absolutely, it's all stable, nice. And like I told you, I climbed a bunch of times in and out. Holds like a champion. Awesome. So there you go. You want to paint your boat, you don't want a jack hassle, you're willing to pay for the wood, you're willing to build yourself this kind of construction. Not a big deal, to tell you. If you're at least anyhow energetic, it's not a big deal at all. So if you're willing to do this, you're gonna gain the convenience of being able to paint your boat just in one blast. In one blast. Why? Because you're not gonna use the jacks to move them around. It's not gonna be in one coat. You're definitely gonna put at least 2 coats, but generally I name it in one blast because of not having to deal with the jacks underneath the boat. So that's the thing. Notice also that the whole construction, all of this thing is placed on a concrete, you see, right? Use your judgment. If you're using just bare ground, I don't know, just using bare ground, that's something. If you're somewhere in a place where you have a long forecast with no rain, that probably might work. But if you have rains often, I probably wouldn't be that easy feeling, like this on a concrete. What's the problem? Let it rain, man, let it rain, no big deal. But having this kind of construction on just bare ground, at least have it level, complete total level, at least. But if you're having even if level ground, but you're having rains quite often, like I said, I wouldn't be feeling so easy about it, because 1000 Alberta, it's no kidding, it's pretty heavy. When I was lifting the back, oh boy, I can tell. The back felt like very heavy to ratchet up with those straps. The front, it ratcheted up like nothing, but the back, oh boy, the back kicks the back of this boat. So preferably, if you do stuff like that, you gotta have concrete. You can feel much more confident like this. In fact, having a concrete, I know I'm solid, no problem. So that's the thing. If this helps you in any way, if you find it applicable in your case, and it can help you not to hassle with the jack underneath the boat, if it helps you to avoid that kind of hassle and apply your coats without having to deal with those jacks, if that helps you in any way, you made my day. I'd be happy then. If this helps you in any way. Every time I was watching a video on YouTube and seeing those jacks, it really got me to the stomach. I didn't want to deal with that. I said, man, I'm going to invent something something to not have to deal with those jacks. I'm just going to do something about this. And there you go. I did it, and it works awesomely. Awesomely, absolutely. No problem whatsoever. So, there we go. You get your boat painted with utmost convenience you can. You get back on the water. You get back to the blast of life. Alright guys, see you somehow again in the future. Catch you again in another video. Bye bye.